Police now saying they urgently want to speak to the actor. That new information has shifted the trajectory of their probe. Police letting two men go who were earlier called potential suspects. Also breaking tonight, panic at the airport, the attempted breach at a security checkpoint. Panicked travelers and their children taking cover in stairwells, heading for exits. Fears the suspect was armed, what police are now saying. Factory massacre, the gunman about to be fired, bringing his Smith & Wesson to a work meeting, killing 5 colleagues. The police chief now saying he should have never had that gun. Deadly winter pileup, car after car, truck after truck, plowing into each other on that slick highway in the heartland. And the big new snowmaker tonight, barreling from the Midwest through New England. Motive for murder? The case of the missing Colorado mother, the fiance accused of killing her. Do new court documents shed light on why he may have done it? Plus, the fight for the last ISIS stronghold in Syria, the devastating human toll. Our team taking us through the scarred towns that make up this battlefield.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday. I'm Tom Llamas, and we begin tonight with the breaking news as we come on the air. The major developments in the alleged attack on actor Jussie Smollett. Police now saying they urgently want to speak to him. Investigators saying new information has, quote, shifted the trajectory of their probe. Officials today letting go of the 2 men first spotted right here on these surveillance images, saying they are no longer potential suspects. Here's ABC's Ariel Reshev with the new details just coming in.
Tonight, a major development in the investigation into the alleged attack on Empire star Jussie Smollett. Police saying they want to speak with him urgently. This after the 2 men in this dark surveillance image were released from custody. Chicago police saying information obtained from these 2 brothers during their interrogation has shifted the trajectory of the investigation. Those men no longer considered suspects.
Did Jussie Smollett set this up?
You know, there's still a lot of moving parts to this, so I am here for my clients, and I had a job to do specifically for them, so I'm not part of Jussie's defense.
High-profile criminal defense attorney Michael Monaco saying he's been hired by Smollett. Monaco has also represented Michael Cohen, President Trump's former fixer.
I think that what people need to hear is just the truth.
Those brothers in the surveillance video arrested Wednesday upon landing at O'Hare Airport from Nigeria, questioned by detectives as their home was raided, computers and cell phones seized. Authorities looking at their phone records to figure out if they spoke to or saw Smollett the night of the alleged incident. Police saying the men have a relationship with Smollett, one of them appearing as an extra on Empire. Detectives telling ABC they have not found video evidence of anyone else at the scene. The latest twist in the case comes weeks after Smollett reported he was a victim of a vicious homophobic assault. In an interview with our Robin Roberts this week, Smollett slamming those casting doubt on his story.
Who the would make something like this up or add something to it or whatever it may be? I can't even, I'm an advocate.
All right, Ariel Reshev joins us now live on set. Now, Ariel, Smollett had told our Robin Roberts that he believed the men in those surveillance images were the men who attacked him. Police have now released those men. What do we know about the police's attempt to reach Smollett now?
Well, Tom, Chicago police say after the interrogation of those 2 men, they contacted Smollett's attorneys for a meeting, and they tell us, they said, quote, we have made our intentions clear. They say they're now waiting to hear from Smollett's attorneys.
All right, details are still coming in. Ariel, thanks for that new reporting. We turn now to the panic at the Orlando airport. These images just coming in as well. Police say the chaos erupted during an arrest at a security checkpoint. Fears that the suspect had a weapon. Travelers and their children running for their lives, racing for the exits. Here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos.
Terrifying moments at Orlando's International Airport when police say 32-year-old Ryan Mills tried to breach a security checkpoint. Passengers waiting to go through security, instead taking off running, fearing he has a gun. Go. Parents grabbing their babies out of strollers. Go. Knocking down barriers, running and hiding for their lives.
There's like a stampede of people running. Me and Andrea hopped the counter to hide the back of Chick-fil-A.
TSA officers ushering people to safety.
So everyone just takes flight, and Everyone's jumping over each other. I'm trying to like grab parents, grab kids, everyone telling people to just go, go, go.
Police say when they detained the suspect, he reached into his pocket, causing the panic.
He got a grenade or something in his hand. Swear to God, he got a grenade in his hand.
Police say the suspect was unarmed but taken into custody.
Stephanie Ramos joins us. Stephanie, we heard the chaos right there in that video. This all unfolding during one of the busiest screening times of the day, impacting operations at Orlando. But police still don't know why the suspect allegedly tried to breach security.
That's exactly right, Tom. They don't know. The suspect is being detained under Florida's Baker Act. It allows emotionally disturbed people to be held under observation for 3 days at a mental health treatment facility. Tom.
Stephanie Ramos for us. Stephanie, thank you. We turn now to the massacre in Illinois. Police releasing this image of the alleged gunman, Gary Martin. They say he brought his weapon to the meeting at that Aurora warehouse, likely knowing he was going to be let go, opening fire at that meeting, killing 5 co-workers and injuring 5 others. And police tonight saying he was not supposed to be in possession of a firearm, that a background check failed. And what we're learning tonight about the victims, the intern on his first day of work at that plant. ABC's Zachary Quiche is on the scene.
An Illinois community is in anguish tonight as we're learning new details about this senseless workplace shooting that left 5 dead, plus the gunman. Police say it all began around 1:30 Friday afternoon.
Aurora has an active shooter situation. One officer is reported down at this time, active shots being fired.
When 45-year-old Gary Martin, a longtime employee, was called into a meeting to be fired by HR.
My understanding from the witnesses is that he opened fire right after the termination.
Police say he likely knew he was losing his job, pulling out a Smith & Wesson handgun outfitted with a laser, and in 5 minutes terrorizing the factory, a staple in this Chicago suburb for years. Police rushing to the factory, taking on almost immediate gunfire. 5 officers hit.
All of the officers' injuries are considered non-life-threatening.
Authorities eventually pinning Martin, found dead hours later.
He was probably waiting for us to get to him there.
Among the victims, Trevor Wenner, a college intern killed on his first day at the job. Authorities revealing the names of all those whose lives ended too soon.
Clayton Parks of Elgin, Illinois. Trevor Weiner of DeKalb, Illinois. Russell Byer of Yorkville, Illinois. Vincente Juarez of Oswego, Illinois. Josh Pinkard of Oswego, Illinois.
A tragedy made worse because tonight, police say Martin had an extensive arrest record and was a convicted felon, which should have prevented him from owning a firearm.
Zachary Quiche joins us live now. Zachary, I want to focus in on that failed background check you just mentioned. Police are now investigating how Martin, who had 6 prior arrests, was able to get that gun.
Tom, he passed an initial background check, which allowed him to buy that gun. But just days later, he applied for a concealed weapons permit, something that requires a fingerprint, and flagged that prior felony conviction, which no longer allowed him to legally own a firearm. Tom, still lots of questions out here tonight.
Zachary, thank you. Now to the massive pileup on a Missouri highway. First a snowstorm, and then these incredible cell phone images coming in of that deadly chain reaction crash just outside of Kansas City. Parts of the heartland hammered by snow and ice, making travel, as you can see, so treacherous. And now a new blast of snow targeting millions from the Midwest to New England. Here's ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano.
Oh, my Lord. There's nothing we can do, man.
A truck driver capturing these terrifying moments east of Kansas City. A chain reaction crash unfolding on Interstate 70 in Missouri amidst near whiteout conditions Friday.
Setting up for mass casualty. We've got numerous vehicles that are stuck.
Drivers and passengers helpless in their vehicles.
It's best for you to stay in the truck, man.
Tarika Kendall caught in the middle as she headed home from work.
Couldn't really see until you got up close up onto everything. I don't even know how I made it out of it.
Shaken, but okay tonight.
It is hard to explain. There's no words for what just happened.
In all, 47 vehicles involved, multiple people injured, and tragically, 1 person did not survive. Troopers responding to more than 700 crashes across the state as the storm moved through.
All right, a lot of snow is about to cover a lot of the country. Let's get right out to Rob Marciano, who joins us now from New York Central Park with the new forecast. Hey, Rob.
Hi, Tom. This next storm coming out of the Rockies not going to bring feet of snow. As we saw in that video, though, it does not take much to do damage on the roadways. Once again, Missouri's in the thick of it. Look at these advisories out that entire state, much of Iowa, much of Kansas as well, and then warnings are up for the Dakotas. Here comes the snow tomorrow morning south of Minneapolis, just west of Chicago, in through Madison, a good swath of a couple of inches, plowable snow through Detroit, Buffalo, Binghamton, Pittsburgh getting a mix, and by tomorrow night should be in Philly and New York City, and then by Monday morning, the eastern part of New England will see a plowable snow, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches there. Heftier amounts across the northern plains, and a heftier storm coming for midweek. Tom?
And we'll stay tracking the storm through the weekend. Rob, thank you. We want to turn to politics now in this headline on the 2020 presidential race. Political reporting, Senator Bernie Sanders has recorded a campaign video announcing he's jumping into the growing Democratic field. This would be Sanders' second run. No word yet on when or whether that video will be released. Next to the growing fallout over President Trump's emergency declaration regarding the Mexican border. The president heading to his Florida resort after making that announcement. The move may allow him to access billions of dollars Congress refused to give him for his wall. The action setting a wide-reaching legal showdown in motion. ABC's White House correspondent Tara Palmieri with the latest from West Palm Beach.
Tonight, President Trump facing growing backlash over his decision to declare a national emergency. Many lawmakers calling it a power grab.
So I'm going to be signing a national emergency.
Lawsuits piling up since the order was signed Friday. ACLU, Public Citizen, and the state of California suing the administration for an overreach of executive power.
California is prepared to call this what this is, which is a theater of the absurd. California is prepared to continue to remind the American people this is a manufactured crisis.
Some saying the president's own words undermine his argument.
I didn't need to do this, but I'd rather do it much faster.
After only getting a fraction of what he wanted, Trump rationalizing his decision to tap into nearly $6 billion in unappropriated funds from the Defense and Treasury Departments to bypass Congress and build the wall himself. Now claiming declaring a national emergency is within his authority.
It gave the presidents the power. There's rarely been a problem. They sign it. Nobody cares.
House Democrats drumming up support for a resolution that terminates the action. In the Senate, 10 Republicans already voiced their disapproval.
The Judiciary Committee is going to do an investigation. The framers of the Constitution are rolling in their graves right now.
During the campaign, Trump criticized Obama for using an executive order to give legal protection to those undocumented immigrants who came to the country as children.
There is no leadership at the top. Signing executive orders is not the way our country was supposed to be run.
Acting Secretary of Defense Patrick Shanahan said he has still not decided if a wall along the Mexican border is a necessity. He also hasn't determined how much military money they can spend on a wall. Tom?
Tara Palmieri for us tonight. Tara, thank you. And this programming note, the latest reaction to all of that, the president's emergency declaration tomorrow on This Week, of course, with ABC's Martha Raddatz hosting. Overseas now, we turn to the desperate fight for the latest ISIS stronghold in Syria. The human toll high, apocalyptic images coming in. ABC foreign correspondent James Longman taking us through the scarred towns that make up this battlefield.
Rubble and dust, the ISIS legacy. It once spanned 2 countries and attracted thousands of extremists from all corners of the globe. Tonight, the so-called caliphate is reduced to about 7,000 square feet of freezing mud in southeastern Syria, where 1,000 or so ISIS fighters are in a standoff with coalition forces. Today, we drove out to the towns nearest the front line. We saw why victory can't be called just yet.
You can hear overhead now, that is the sound of aircraft approaching because they think that ISIS bikes are now on the horizon.
When we did arrive, the cost was clear. Every building destroyed, massive craters from US airstrikes every few hundred meters. There's no life here.
Over 15,000 coalition bombs were dropped on Syria during this anti-ISIS campaign. And you have to ask, have these places been liberated or eliminated?
In the next town, life is creeping back. Families try to rebuild what they once had, but this will take years. ISIS may be gone, but not much else is left either.
When US troops do go home, as President Trump has promised, the so-called caliphate will have been defeated. But large parts of this country have been so badly destroyed that the roots of extremism may easily take hold once again. Tom?
James Longman and his team with those devastating images from the ISIS battlefield. James, thank you. Now to the historic move by Pope Francis. defrocking former Cardinal Theodore McCarrick for sex crimes against minors and